It's time for our review. Yay! This is not a spoiler-free video at all, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it, come back, watch this. You know the drill. Drill? Drill. You know the drill. For fuck's sake. Alright. So, welcome back to my ongoing series, Saoirse Reviews stuff. Hey! Wait, are you finally doing the Avengers review that you promised to do? Are you finally doing that review that you promised to do? No, today I will be reviewing Hannibal Series 3 Episode 1, Antipasto. Written by Bryan Fuller and Steve Lightfoot, and directed by Vincenzo Natali. I really haven't done any preparation or research for this review, I've just started talking, so let's see what happens. So at the end of Series 2, shit had gone down. Hannibal had basically slaughtered everyone that we love and everyone that he loves, and then run away with Bedelia. So this episode is set, I think, 5 months afterwards? That might be wrong. I can't remember. It's set like a good amount of time afterwards. And Hannibal and Bedelia are in Europe. They're first of all in Paris and then they go to Italy. And they're living the high life. They're going to glamorous parties and living in fancy apartments, and you know, they're stunning and they dress beautifully and they're just going around pretending to be husband and wife and just doing their thing. And Hannibal's occasionally eating someone, as he does. Mads Malkinson actually utters the line, "I've hardly killed anyone on this trip," which is just like, what? Hannibal, you shouldn't be killing anyone. You can't just go, oh well, I've been so good this week, I've only eaten one person. Like, no! Stop eating anyone! Stop eating anyone! So yeah, Hannibal and Bedelia are in Paris. And Hannibal is at a party. And he spots this handsome young man across the room. And he's got dark, kind of curly hair and this smug little smile. And they do a little eye contact across the room. And the guy comes over and they start flirting. And it's like, Hannibal, what's happening here? His name is Anthony, and we love him. He's snarky and funny and adorable and like clever, and yeah, okay, nice. And then of course, you know, Hannibal runs off and kills a dude and eats him, and probably kills and eats his wife. That's left ambiguous, but it's probably definitely happened. The next we see of Hannibal, him and Bedelia have moved to Italy, and Hannibal's gotten a job in a university researching torture or something intellectual, something about Dante. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I was a little confused about the specifics of what he was supposed to be doing, but it doesn't really matter. The plot of the episode is much more about Hannibal's grief over his breakup with Will than his what he's actually doing. I would actually say that's one of the weaker points in the episode. Like, there's a lot of things that are just a little confusing. They're not really spelled out, like, what is he doing? How are they paying for all of this shit? What's happening? How did they get their fake identities? Hannibal's supposed to, like, he killed that dude in Paris, and he's now pretending to be him, but how does nobody know what he looks like? Because surely they could just Google him and find a picture, and then Mads is clearly not him, and like, how is that working? Like, are these people just too rich to use the internet? Is that what, I didn't understand what was happening there. I didn't really care. I don't really care what any of the specifics are, because I love the episode and it was really good fun, and I just enjoy watching Hannibal mope about Will. But yeah, I was confused. I was confused. How are they paying for things? How are they oh, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm sure they have a way. They're rich. That's essentially, they're just rich. Leave it at that. But like, how did they get, because surely she can't be accessing our accounts because then people could track them, and no, I'm not gonna try and logic it. I'm just gonna ignore the logic. I don't care about the logic. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. That doesn't, like, where do they get their money? Where do they get their money? How do they buy their fancy clothes and live in their fancy apartment and travel all over? I'm so confused. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter because I enjoy the program regardless, but it doesn't make sense. But I'm not going to go on about it. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I'm confused, but I don't care. So, Hannibal's doing his teacher research dude thing. I don't know. And Bedelia's on her own a lot, you know? She's not really doing anything. She's kind of just his companion, in a sense. And clearly they're sort of a couple, and they're sort of... I mean, they're posing as husband and wife, certainly. And they are... I think they're together. Like, I think they're sleeping together. I'm pretty sure they're sleeping together. I'm not entirely sure. They probably are. Like, she knows what he is. And he knows that she knows, but she's still kind of his therapist, but they're kind of a couple. Their relationship is left quite ambiguous. I love Bedelia, I'm just going to say that now, but I'm worried for her. I'm really, really worried for her. I think why she went with Hannibal, obviously, you know, frightened of him. She's a psychologist and she's trying to figure him out. And she does like him and she feels drawn to him and bound to him in a sense. But she must have something up her sleeve. She must. She must. I don't believe for a second that she's this submissive little woman that she's presenting herself to be and just following him around Europe and just doing whatever because she's frightened and then turned on at the same time. Like, I just don't believe it. She has to be up to something. And it's so good. I can sense that something really good is coming. And that's a testament to the writing, and it's a testament to Gillian Anderson's acting because, oh my god. I mean, she's so beautiful, but she's so talented, and it's just, I love Bedelia. I love her, and I love Gillian Anderson, and her and Mads Malkinson together are they're just these two strange, ethereal creatures just sort of posturing around Europe in fancy clothing and just being odd and off-putting and creepy. It's just such a weird, cool dynamic. And into this dynamic stumbles poor little Anthony Demon, who, the guy that Hannibal was basically eye-fucking all the time in Paris. He is suddenly in Italy. He's suddenly in Italy, and he recognises Hannibal, who is going by a different name now than he was going by in Paris. So Hannibal's like, shit, I've been recognised by someone, this isn't good, I better eat him. And then he's like, oh no, shit, he's hot. Maybe I could eat him in a different sense. Hannibal invites Anthony to dinner with him and Bedelia, and it's super awkward. And then Anthony proposes a threesome, which is just hilarious and wonderful and understandable, because if you're in... I mean, there's certainly a tension in that room, which could have easily been read by him that way. And I mean, look at them. Look how beautiful Bedelia is. Look how gorgeous Hannibal is. Of course you'd be up for it. Who wouldn't be up for it? But it's just this super tense moment where you can see Hannibal going, maybe. And Bedelia's just like, no, it's not happening. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, not happening. Alright, sorry, my wife says no. There were a lot of comments last season about how just insanely homoerotic it was. Like, just hugely, just infused with this weird sexual tension. Which, you know, I'm not complaining about. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. But I think everyone went after last season, oh, okay, well, it can't get gayer than this. And Bryan Fuller went, oh, really? You think it can't get gayer than this? I'm gonna make it as gay as possible! Which I love. find it brilliant, but at the same time I'm like, how on earth are you getting away with this? Like, what are you doing? What is happening? There isn't even plot in this episode. It's just homoerotic subtext. Not even subtext, there's homoerotic text and cannibal puns. This is just what the show has become. And I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But jeez, like how, So, anyway, the dinner scene, hilarious, wonderful. But it, you know, the tension is building and building and building, and it's either gonna end in sex or murder. And you're like, oh, which is it gonna be? Sex or murder? Sex or murder? And then suddenly, it's neither. And they let him go. And he just leaves and goes home, and you're like, oh, wait, has Hannibal actually made a friend? A genuine friend that he's not gonna eat? Oh my god, he's made a friend! I'm so happy! No, as it turns out, no. Point of it is, Anthony shows up, and, you know, he's like, hey, I know you're not who you're pretending to be. I don't really care, you know, we could just, hang out, you know? I got dirt on you, I could give you some dirt on me, we could hang out, what do you think? And Hannibal's like, yeah, you know, why don't you come back to mine? We'll, go have a chat with the missus. So Anthony's all up for it. They go back to the flat. Meanwhile, Bedelia is packing because she's like, something bad is gonna happen. Anthony's here, he knows. Something terrible's gonna happen. I should probably leave. So she's been at home, packing her shit. She's like literally about to leave. Hannibal and Anthony come in. She's like, oh yeah, no, I wasn't going anywhere. I'm chill. Anthony comes in, all ready to have a threesome, and then suddenly Hannibal bashes his head in. Because that's how he deals with his feelings. Meanwhile, while Anthony's dying on the floor, Bedelia and Hannibal have this really intense conversation about why she's there, and is she observing or is she participating, and it's, oh, chills. The acting is just so good, it's so good. And it's this really cool scene between these two really cold, really calculating characters, and then there's just a dude dying on the floor, and it's like, no, he was nice, I liked him, he was nice, and now you've gone and done that. It's so frustrating. But Hannibal's sort of decided it's time to move on, that clearly they can't stay in Italy anymore. But he misses Will. The whole episode is about how he misses Will. And he's decided, fuck it, I'm gonna let him know where I am. I'm gonna let him know where I am. So he decides, clearly, the obvious way to do that is to mutilate Anthony's corpse into the shape of a heart and leave it in a church for Will to find. Because, you know, that's how you tell someone you like them. You give them a representation of a heart in the form of a mutilated corpse. It's just how he expresses affection. But it's so fucked up. So that's the, present time storyline. But the episode is intercut with flashbacks. You get flashbacks to the night after, or the night of the Series 2 finale. After Hannibal has, you know, stabbed Will and cut Abigail's throat. And wait, did he cut up? Yeah, he cut Abigail's throat, and Alanda's been pushed out of the window, and all that shit's gone down. You see, and you get the infamous, now at this stage, shower scene, because Mads Malkinson just needs to be naked and everything, which, again, not complaining. None of these comments are complaints. They may be said with wry amusement, but I'm definitely not complaining. Hannibal breaks into Bedelia's house to have a shower. As you do. And Bedelia hears him in there, and she's like, yeah, cool, gonna get a drink, gonna hold you at gunpoint, we're gonna have a little chat. Which is nice, so that kind of explains why Bedelia was randomly on the plane with him, because that was, I think we all, after Series 2 aired, we all kind of went, oh my god, yay, Bedelia, but why, and also how, what, huh? So that's kind of been explained. He showed up at her house covered in blood. Obviously she was going to go away with him. We also get flashbacks to Hannibal's time with Gideon. I love Gideon, played by Eddie Izzard. Wonderful. And one of my favourite deaths, not my favourite death, my favourite Hannibal death is when the guy gets sewed inside the horse. I fucking love it. That's so, I laughed hysterically. I did. And that just goes to show that there's really something deeply psychologically wrong with me, because I found the social worker inside that horse just insanely hilarious. But pretty much my second favourite death was when Hannibal made Gideon eat his own leg. I found that amusing. And then it turns out, like, I always figured, and the way it was presented, was that series 1? I think it was series 1. Haven't watched series 1 in such a long time, I can't remember. But the way it was presented was that Hannibal kidnapped Gideon, cut off his leg, cooked it, fed it to him, and then we all assumed just killed him. Nope. No, he didn't. He kept him alive for ages and ages, gradually cutting off each limb and then eating it with him. Because, and this is the bit that makes me sad, he did that not to torture Gideon. He did it because he was lonely, and because Will Graham wouldn't be his friend. Which, no, Will Graham's not going to be your friend because you've psychologically and physically tortured him and tried to kill him on several occasions, and that is not how you tell someone you like them, Hannibal. No. It's not how you express affection. Cut throughout the episode and sort of highlighting Hannibal's loneliness is his, oh, I'm running out of battery, fuck, hang on. Alright, slightly different angle because I had to move the camera because I had to plug it in and the lead only stretches this far, so sorry. Yeah, Hannibal's loneliness is highlighted throughout the episode with the flashbacks to his conversations with Gideon and his, dinners with him, and Gideon just getting progressively more dumb and just like more sassy and shit talking, because it's like, okay, he's being held hostage, he's definitely gonna die, and he's being made to eat his limbs one by one, and it's like, yeah, of course he's not gonna be respectful. It's like, oh, thank you for cooking me a lovely dinner. He's like, no, fuck you. I know why I'm here. I'm here because you can't get Will Graham to be here and be accountable with you, so you're making do with me, and you know what? Fuck you, because he's never gonna want to be your friend. And I may be about to die, but you're always gonna be on your own, so fuck you. Which is so wonderful, and Eddie Izzard just plays that character so well. He's just so done with everything. It's just, fuck you. I love Gideon. So funny. I think that's actually my favourite thing about this series, is that it's this horrific romantic comedy. It's just this really, really odd story of this guy who wants to be friends with this other guy so badly that he just murders everybody, and also the guy, and then eats people. And it's hilarious. It's so funny. I do think that might say a lot about me, that I find this show so hilarious. Because I sort of feel like I'm not meant to, but then at the same time, Bryan Fuller is a really funny man, and he wrote, Pushing Daisies and like lots of really funny stuff. And he thinks it's hilarious, like he is clearly writing it with a lot of comedy in it. So I kind of feel okay for laughing about it, because that's how Bryan Fuller intends it to be. But at the same time, I'm like, this is so gory and so dark and so terrible, I really shouldn't be laughing, but I am. And I kind of don't feel guilty that I'm laughing, and it's a very strange combination of emotions. I think I might have to downgrade this from a review to a reaction, because I think reviews need to have more effort put in them and make a little more sense and actually be kind of critical and like have a point, whereas this is just me going, things happened in Hannibal, let me tell you them. I really, really liked it. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. It was so exciting. But I'm even more excited for next week, because Will Graham's gonna be back, Jack's back, Alana's back, I think. Oh my god, it's just, I'm so excited for the rest of this season. It's gonna be really, really good. I can already tell. And I know Bedelia's up to something. She has to be up to something. She has to be. She must be. Also, Bryan Fuller has said that she is. Because Bryan Fuller can't keep secrets, even about his own show. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see my reaction to next week's episode, you'd better go down and subscribe to my channel so you will know when it's posted. I will see you next week for episode 2 of Hannibal Season 3. Alright. Wait, are you finally doing that review that you promised to do and